Hello, my name is Connor Quinlan, and I'm going to be doing a review on the 12 to 24mm Nikkor lens. Now, the first thing I want to go over with this lens is its size and its build quality and price and so on and so forth like that. Now, the first thing you're going to notice, of course, is how small this lens is. It's a lot smaller here than the 18 to 200mm lens right over here, and it's also a lot lighter. It weighs just a little over 1 pound, whereas this weighs around 1.25 pounds. So this is a whole fourth of a pound lighter than the Nikon 18 to 200mm lens. This is a great lens for traveling if you want to go light, easy to carry lens. So that's one of the things I really love about this lens. Now we're going to go to cost on this lens, and it is a quite expensive lens. It's worth $900 to $1,000 new, and I would definitely not recommend you buy it at that price. One of the reasons I wouldn't recommend it right now is, of course, for its build. It is a pro lens, but it's not built like a pro lens. It's a plastic body on the outside, its zoom rings are plastic, and it doesn't have inner gaskets and stuff. Even though it is plastic, though, it is pretty well built. Probably the best built plastic lens you'll find. The zoom rings feel very smooth when I go back and forth on them, very easy to move. They don't make any noise or anything like that. So is the manually focusing ring, and the zoom rings do not wiggle at all or anything, and they feel much, and this whole body really just feels a lot better built than, for instance, the Nikon 18 to 200mm lens, which is a little wobbly in the zoom focus, makes some noise when it zooms in and out. Same with the manual, it makes noise. This just feels a lot more solid than this would. Other than that, another advantage to having a plastic build like this is, of course, like I said, the lightweight. With a metal body, this would be a lot heavier and also probably a lot larger. Since it is a plastic build, you're going to be carrying a much lighter and much more compact lens. Now I just want to kind of talk about the performance of this lens and also some of the features on this lens. First thing you're going to notice up on the side here is a little button, and it's got the manual and manual autofocus button. You switch it to manual, then you manually focus with this ring. When you switch it to manual and autofocus mode, you can autofocus and manually do it too. Now I'm going to talk about a little bit about the zooming on this lens. It's a 2x zoom lens, goes from 12 to 24mm like I said, and that's a reasonably good range. It's not a lot considering that the 18 to 200mm has an 11.7 times zoom range, but it's definitely useful if you're into the ultra-wide angle photography. It's a very useful lens for landscape photography and also nature photography. But I would definitely probably rule this lens out for architecture photography because at the 12mm end, it does have some distortion. Other than that, the performance of this lens has been reasonably good. It's not the best performing lens that I've ever seen in terms of wide angle, but it's decently good. 18 to 24mm range. From the 18 to 24mm range, you're going to get amazing quality, very, very, very sharp pictures, probably just as good as any prime lens. From about 12 to 18, you're going to get slightly less sharp pictures, especially around the 12mm end, which is kind of a pity because most people get this lens for that wide part. But it's still very good, and it performs very well at 12 as long as you don't have it at its maximum f-stop. If you have it in f-stops around f-stop 5.6 to f-stop 11, then it's a lot sharper than if you would have it at your maximum f-stop, which is an f-stop of 4 on this lens. Now, like I was saying about the distortion of this lens, at 12 you're going to have significant barrel distortion, just noticeable that it rules this lens out for architecture photography. However, from around 14 all the way through to 24, there's barely any distortion after that. At 12 there will be minor pincushion distortion, but other than that, this is pretty much distortion free. And compared to the wide end on the 18 to 200mm lens, the wide angle on this lens is not very distorted. It's hardly noticeable at all, and easily corrected in Photoshop, of course. Another feature, of course, on this is the AFS system, which is on most Nikkor lenses. The significance of this one is that it is very, very fast. It's unusually fast. It's about twice as fast as the 18 to 200mm lens that I have here, and it's extremely quiet. I can't hear it at all. It's extremely fast. It's too bad it's not really useful on this lens, considering that it's such a wide-angle photography. You don't really need a really fast autofocus for this lens, but I just thought I would point that out really quickly. I'm going to put it on the Nikon D80 body here so that you can kind of get an idea of what it looks like on a Nikon body. So there you go, that's what it kind of looks like on the Nikon D80 body. And as you can see, it does look significantly small, and it's hardly noticeable at all. It's very light. It's easy to carry around. I carry it around with me all the time. If you're taking long hikes or stuff like that, it's really a useful lens. Or you're going on a vacation and you want to pack light, this is an amazing lens along with the 18 to 200 millimeter lens. It's probably my top recommendation. My top recommendation, of course, is probably the D80 body and these two lenses. They'll cover just about everything, and it's a good 13.5 times zoom range, and you get amazing quality with both of these lenses. Now we're going to go back to the downside of this lens a little bit, and that, of course, is the price. Like I said, it's worth about $900 to $1,000 for this lens, and of course, I don't think it's worth the money at all. I bought this lens on eBay for $500, so I saved quite a bit of money and have been very happy with this lens. Either I would suggest you get this lens on eBay or used from someone else, or you can get one of the off-brand ones, one of the third-party brands like the Tokina or the Sigma. Those are the ones I would recommend over all the others. My first recommendation would probably be the Tokina 12 to 24, and it also has an f-stop before, just like the Nikon right here. And the reason I recommend that is because it is practically the same in all performances and build quality and features as the 12 to 24, and it's half the price. It's $450. It's also very lightweight, and I think it even has a metal body on the outside. So I would definitely consider the Tokina if you don't want to pay up for the 12 to 24 Nikon lens. Now the only real difference between those lenses is that the Nikon does have better optical quality. You will get a little bit better sharpness with this lens and less distortion, but it's not very much. And if it were me, and if I didn't get this lens for such a great price on eBay, I would have definitely gotten the Tokina. Now the other lens I would recommend is the Sigma 10 to 20 millimeter lens, and I would recommend that lens to people who want to go even wider than 12 millimeter. And that's basically the only reason I would recommend the Sigma. Its image quality is not up to performance as the Nikon or the Tokina, and its f-stop also increases and decreases throughout the range, whereas the Nikon and the Tokina have a constant f-stop of 4. Other than that, though, the Sigma 10 to 20 does have the best chromal aberration control. So if you're into that type of thing, then the Sigma 10 to 20 just might be the lens for you. Overall, in the end, this lens's performance was pretty outstanding. It's definitely not worth the price, probably, but in terms of how well it's performed for me, for the price I paid for it, I've been very happy with it. From the 12 to 18 range, yeah, it's a little bit softer, but it's still very good image quality. And from 18 to 24, I am absolutely astounded with the image quality. It's so sharp. It's compared to my 18 to 200 millimeter at 18 to 24, it just destroys this lens. It's just so sharp, distortion free, chromal aberration free, everything. It's just great. And for those of you who want this for landscape type of photography and just wide angle photography, I would either recommend this used, you buy this used, or you buy one of the third party brands. And this has been a review of the Nikon 12 to 24 millimeter lens.